The G20 has ended in Bali, but war in Eastern Europe rages on. As the summit drew to a close, there was a clear division among world leaders about the message they would send about the Ukraine conflict. The final communique noted most countries condemn the invasion. The two that didn't, Russia and China. Let's go live to our political editor, Andrew Clennell, who's travelling with the Prime Minister. Andrew, the Prime Minister, Mr Albanese, was very much supportive and wanting to highlight the condemnation of Russia that emerged out of the Bali summit.
He did indeed, and he gave you the impression that he has the personal view that this G20 summit, Kieran, does make a difference. You can look at it as a talk fest. You can look at it as one of a number of summits where there's been condemnation of Russia and nothing's happened. In fact, the reverse, in the sense that Vladimir Putin's gone into Ukraine even harder. Even over the last couple of days while the G20 was going on, he had about 80 missile strikes into Ukraine, and we saw the Ukraine defence system launch a missile accidentally into Poland and kill 2 people. But for Anthony Albanese's part, he believes Russia is under pressure, Putin is under pressure, and they are increasingly isolated on this issue. Prime Minister, is there anything that came out of this G20 summit that made you think Vladimir Putin can and will be stopped when it comes to Ukraine?
What I saw come out of it was the declaration today. That was quite extraordinary that President Widodo noted in his closing remarks that that's the first time you've had a statement like that come out of a body like the G20, which of course Russia is a member of. I think it was a very clear statement in those circumstances, and in that context, Russia is increasingly isolated. That is what the G20 showed. And Australia, I said earlier today, but I'll say it again, Australia stands with Ukraine and its people. We saw overnight 80 missiles fired into Ukraine.
It does look a bit hopeless, the Ukraine situation. And it seems like President Biden and Prime Minister Albanese believe the answer here could be President Xi, who is re-engaging with them, that the Chinese president can lean on Vladimir Putin to withdraw. It seems a tough hope.
Will he, do you think, try to exercise some leverage with Vladimir Putin to at least talk about peace?
Well, I used the opportunity of the bilateral with President Xi to encourage him to use his influence to promote peace and to pressure Russia into withdrawal from Ukraine. That's the solution here.